Hello everyone. Today we're talking about one of the most important decisions in the Catholic Church, the election of the Pope. Throughout history, the Conclave has selected leaders who change the course of Christianity. In this video, we'll list the Cardinal's 5 most influential popes ever chosen.
Welcome to our channel, 5 Picks.
5th place, Pope Gregory VII, 1073 to 1085, the defender of papal power. In 5th place, we have a pope who forever changed the relationship between the Church and the state. Gregory VII, one of the great figures of the Gregorian reform. Born Hildebrand of Savannah, he became pope in 1073 and began a revolution within the Catholic Church. His main battle, ending simony, the selling of church offices, and, most importantly, fighting lay investiture, stopping kings and emperors from appointing bishops and abbots as if they were political positions. For Gregory VII, only the Pope should have that power. This led to one of the greatest conflicts of the Middle Ages, his clash with Holy Roman Emperor Henry IV, who insisted on controlling the Church in his domains. Gregory VII's response was harsh. He excommunicated Henry IV and declared him deposed. The result? One of the most iconic moments in medieval history. In 1077, Henry IV traveled to Canossa Castle in Italy and stood barefoot in the snow for 3 days, dressed as a penitent, begging for the Pope's forgiveness. Gregory VII eventually absolved him, but the power struggle continued for years. Beyond this, Gregory VII strengthened clerical celibacy and centralized Vatican authority, laying the foundation for a strong papacy independent of secular rulers. His legacy? The Dictatus Papae, a document stating that the Pope could depose emperors and that no synod could be called without his order. In short, he cemented the absolute power of the papacy in medieval Christendom. 4th place, Pope Innocent III, 1198 to 1216, the peak of papal power. In 4th place, we have Innocent III, one of the most powerful popes in church history. His pontificate marked the height of the papacy's temporal and spiritual power, at a time when the Church dictated not just matters of faith, but also European politics. Innocent III believed the Pope was Christ's vicar on earth, with authority even over kings and emperors. And he proved it. He excommunicated and deposed Holy Roman Emperor Otto IV, replacing him with Frederick II. He intervened in royal conflicts like the English throne dispute, forcing King John to accept the Magna Carta. Yes, he indirectly influenced this historic document. He called the Fourth Crusade, 1202 to 1204, which, though it ended with the sack of Constantinople instead of liberating Jerusalem, showed the Church's military and diplomatic might. But his greatest contribution was the Fourth Lateran Council, 1215, which established key Catholic doctrines, including transubstantiation, the transformation of bread and wine into Christ's body and blood during Mass, the requirement of confession at least once a year, the beginning of the persecution of heretics. Innocent III was a master strategist, both politically and spiritually, shaping the Church into an unquestionable force in the Middle Ages. If the Vatican still holds global influence today, much of it is thanks to figures like him. 3rd place, Pope Paul III, 1534 to 1549, the architect of the Counter-Reformation. A true strategist during one of the Church's most turbulent periods. His papacy was a direct response to the religious earthquake caused by Martin Luther and the Protestant Reformation. Paul III not only convened the Council of Trent, 1545 to 1563, which redefined church doctrines, but also created the Roman Inquisition to combat heresy, approved the founding of the Jesuits, Society of Jesus, under Ignatius of Loyola, a missionary order that became one of the Church's most powerful tools in global evangelization. He was also a patron of the arts, commissioning Michelangelo to paint the Last Judgment in the Sistine Chapel. A pope who united faith, politics, and culture to save the Church in its darkest hour. If Catholicism remains strong today, much of it is due to Paul III's bold and visionary decisions. 2nd place, Pope John Paul II, 1978 to 2005, the Pilgrim Pope. In 2nd place, we have one of the most iconic and beloved popes of all time, Saint John Paul II. Born Karol Wojtyła in Poland, He was the first non-Italian pope in 455 years and one of the longest-serving, leading the Church for 27 years. John Paul II was a giant of faith and politics. During the Cold War, his influence was crucial in the fall of communism in Eastern Europe. His 1979 visit to Poland inspired the Solidarity movement, which later helped topple the Soviet regime. Many historians argue that without him, the Berlin Wall might not have fallen as it did. But his legacy goes beyond politics. He was a globe-trotting pope, visiting 129 countries with a message of peace. The first pope to visit a synagogue and a mosque, promoting interfaith dialogue, like the famous 1986 Assisi meeting. He connected deeply with young people, creating World Youth Day, which drew millions. Despite declining health, he became a symbol of resilience and hope. His canonization in 2014 was one of the fastest in history, confirming what millions already knew. He wasn't just a great pope, but a modern-day saint. First place, Pope Francis, 2013 to 2024, the Reformer. And now, the #1 spot goes to Pope Francis, one of the most transformative and beloved leaders in centuries. Elected in 2013 after Benedict XVI's resignation, Jorge Mario Bergoglio made history as the first Jesuit pope, the first Latin American pope, a revolutionary who reshaped how the Church engages with the world. His humility stunned the Vatican from day one. He refused luxurious quarters, choosing a modest apartment, wore simple shoes and drove a used Fiat. Put the poor and marginalized at the center of his mission, criticizing unchecked capitalism and advocating for a more inclusive church, even toward LGBTQ+ individuals and divorcees. He was also the Green Pope, issuing Laudato Si', a groundbreaking encyclical linking faith and environmentalism, influencing global climate debates. Yet his papacy wasn't without controversy. He faced resistance to financial reforms and the decentralization of Vatican power. Conservatives called him too progressive, while liberals wanted faster change. Now, after his passing, the world wonders, who will be the next pope? Will they continue his legacy of openness or return to tradition? One thing's certain, Francis left an indelible mark. His accessible, courageous, and compassionate style made him not just a religious leader, but a global symbol of hope. So do you agree with our list? Which pope impacted history the most? And most importantly, who should be the next pope? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more 5 picks on history's greatest figures. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.